Welcome, comic lovers. Today we're looking at Jim Davis's iconic strip Garfield, particularly the Sunday strips from 1980 and 1981. Davis does a great job of using color, particularly yellow, to enhance the storytelling of his Sundays, creating recurring gags with environmental yellows. A bath of bright yellow streetlight against a dark background is used as an anchor for Garfield's pursuits on the streets at night. His escape from John's house is implied. He sneaks out to hit on Lady Katz, specifically Arlene, a recurring character who eventually develops a genuine interest in Garfield. The streetlight helps to show that he's putting on his persona. We also notice how consistent Garfield can be. He's doing it again. He's waiting outside to look for Arlene at night. He's figuring out how to win her over. Once he gets her attention with the promise of a gourmet dinner, they leave the yellow streetlight together. And then Arlene finds that Garfield's best gourmet dinner has a small yellow candlestick, so it's not as bright as the streetlight made her think it might be, underwhelming her a little bit. Another consistent use of a wash of yellow light in these strips comes from inside John's house. When Garfield lies in warm yellow sunbeams, the dark background is used again in this strip, making the area outside the sunbeam feel cold. It's a funny twist when Garfield, left in the cold as the sunbeam drifts off, threatens it with his claws and actually brings it back to where it was before. The sunbeam is a reoccurring environmental prop. John even falls victim to its ethereal power as soon as he reaches into it to get Garfield. In this strip, the contrast is not as intense between the yellow beam and the background, with just a middle tone for the room. However, the yellow is a gradient at this time, with a brighter white adding dynamism to the colors. It almost looks a little bit more magical with the white in there. Jim Davis also uses the sun behind the characters for emphasis, especially when the animals are outdoors howling. Garfield often goes out to sing on the fence, and people throw stuff at him to heckle him. Here he seems optimistic. It's like a fun energy. There's a light background and a light yellow sun behind him. And then when he gets to the end of that strip, he's in front of a yellow background again, so he's still feeling good. A setting sun gives Davis a background for a silhouette when Arlene and Garfield are out howling. Things have gotten romantic between them, and the light yellow backgrounds in this strip give their date a playful energy. Davis even uses the foreground background contrast to enhance the immersion of Garfield's dreams. Here, the entire color palette is a medium blue to immerse us in Garfield's insomnia. He can't sleep. As soon as he gets the idea to count mice, a yellow light bulb pops up above his head, and we see his peaceful dreamland in full color with a yellow background. Throughout various strips, Davis uses yellow backgrounds for emphasis. He frequently uses this technique of changing the colors of the environment throughout a strip and also between strips, creating a world that responds to changes in emotion and intensity and kind of tells us how the characters are feeling in each strip just by the color of the background. Here, when John loses his temper and starts throwing food on Garfield, the initial shock turns the background yellow until the surprise wears off again and Garfield's kind of resigned to his fate. The wall's back to normal. As a kid, I remember laughing out loud while reading Garfield collections. The gags are simple, the character dynamics are consistent, and the use of color in the Sunday strips makes Garfield feel all the more playful.